Day Saints. I hope that you're doing well, and I'm excited that you have continued to read the Bible this year, or at the very least, have continued to watch these videos. Now, this 16th week of Bible reading that we'll be starting very, very soon is going to be a really, really good one and an interesting one. We pick up First Kings chapter 8 and 9, where we experience and read a little bit about the temple, the dedication of the temple, and where we really parachute in during the height of Solomon's rule. And what's interesting is that this time of Solomon was sort of considered the golden era in terms of their prosperity, in terms of their stability, in terms of all those kinds of, I guess, traditional measures of how they're doing as a people. And so that's where we start. And unfortunately, you're going to find out that that prosperity, that golden era wasn't that long. So a couple of things to pay attention to in this week's reading. We meet Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, who succeeds him as king, and he ends up losing half the kingdom. I invite you to pay attention to why and how that happened. There's an interesting story in there about why you probably should ask for advice from people who disagree with you, and especially people who are older than you, if you're able to do that. And so we meet Rehoboam, we see that this kingdom is split. There are lots of transfers of power. Hardly any of them are peaceful or orderly or anything like that. And so we see this community decide that they really wanted a king for stability, and they get a king. They get some stability for a little bit, and then things get really unstable. And so there's lawlessness, there's craziness going on everywhere. And out of this, we have some very famous prophets emerge. During this week's reading, we will read through more or less the entire life and ministry of Elijah. And towards the end of that time, we will meet his protege, Elisha. And so lots of really cool stories involving those prophets. Lots of really interesting plots between the struggle of the empires and the different kings involved. And yeah, lots of names that come up again and again and again when people talk about biblical heroes. And so I hope that you'll enjoy this upcoming week's reading, and I look forward to checking in with you soon.